All right, guys, back for this week's Mad News. So, I'm sure you've already heard, potentially, the Knicks and Frank Ntilikina could be, going separate ways. I could see that happening. So it looks like the Knicks are out on him. We always knew the Knicks were divided on Frank, especially during the draft. We always knew Phil Jackson was the one that really wanted Frank. The Magic scouts now have mentioned that Frank looks intriguing, and he was actually at this past game. What the f***? You could have drafted him 2017, and we didn't have to bother getting Frank. You could have took him with the 6th pick. Just trying to remind you about that. Just putting that out there, Magic folks. You Magic the Gathering dumbasses. Anyways, on to the next news. Fizz mentioned how he's going to keep certain people part of his village in terms of Kevin Knox and Mitchell Robinson. He's not going to send them to the G League. He wants to keep them as part of the NBA team. Interesting that Frank is still truly young enough to be sent down. I say, Fizz, bro, vote him out the village, off the island, into the challenge, whatever works. Get this man some practice, aka the G League. Tim Hardaway's numbers. First 18 games, 24, 4 and 3 on 43% field goal and 38% from 3. The last 4 games, 13, 3 and 3 on 26 from the field and 22 from 3. You know what that sounds like? It sounds like winter has arrived. Tim's shot right now is like my It's hard to find when it's freezing out, and Tim's shit is ice cold the past few games.
Son, there is something I need to tell you.
Can't find my dick.
Just saying. We all know the G League now offers select contracts at $125,000. Moutier mentioned he would still actually have gone to China. He still would have done the same thing, that he would have chosen to get paid $1.2 million. With that said, Moutier wouldn't have selected that contract. The Knicks now, they've beaten the Celtics, they've beaten the Pelicans, and the Grizzlies without Porzingis. It's like performing successful surgery on a patient that's been shot multiple times, dropped off a 5-story building without a surgeon.
I will survive. Oh, as long as I know how to love, I know I'll still alive.
Give us KD, we're easily back on top, like Flavor Flav in 2006.
Yeah, boy!
Guys, that's all I got for you because I need to pass it off to my man Far, because he also has some mad news for you. Peace.
Thanks, Jay. So, I'm here to talk about, of course, the New York Knicks. If it's not one thing we're criticized for, it's always another, but luckily this year, a lot of the drama that's haunted us in the past years is no longer. The worst news I've heard all day is the Knicks have a tendency of picking very soft, baby poop soft players in the first round. I'm talking about Kevin Knox and Frank Ntilikina. According to the Daily News, we've got scouts saying that these players are so soft, and Frank is even worse than soft. Whatever that means, I'm not sure. Probably not in the NBA. Maybe baby diarrhea. Making too many baby jokes here. I'll stop. But what I am glad to hear is that that's the type of soft that the Knicks are referring to. You know who else is soft? Dwight Howard. Google Dwight Howard and hit the news tab. You're welcome. That's my update. This was Mad News.
All right, guys, welcome back to the next segment. We're talking about KP because he is still the star of this team.
You guys remember KP?
So,
What the hell was that?
I don't know what the hell that was. Because I'm trying to say, how would KP fit with the system? How would he fit coming back? Who he?
KP.
How would he fit? What do you guys think?
Okay, so let me just start this off by saying I hope that Fizdale has been drawing up some plays for him because I don't see many plays called for other players.
I think they're doing them together.
To be honest,
Correct.
that's the type of relationship that they probably even have.
That would be great for me. But I think, he's doing himself a little bit of a detriment, not calling plays for, i.e., Tim Hardaway Jr. So I do hope that in the back of his mind, he's seeing where KP can fit. Okay, we could run a back screen for him here. We could run pick and rolls with Trier for KP here. So I see him fitting as, I know Fizdale's not stupid and he's going to make him the focal point of the offense. He has to. So there has to be some plays that he's drawing up in the back of his mind like, okay, I can't wait to use this.
Yeah.
So that's how I see him using him.
I just hope that KP is seeing all the opportunities for him to be a passer as well. And truly maximize around the
Yeah, that'd be
players
great.
around.
Yeah, to pass it out
Really?
for Frank
'Cause
for
I
three.
think KP's thinking like, yo, I'm taking
I'm
30
a
shots a game.
Yeah.
I'm putting
No,
Melo in this
honestly,
bitch. You know what I'm saying?
in the current system we have, I see a lot of isolation. And I think we need to move the ball a little
But
bit
is
more.
that because KP's not there? That's what we have to understand.
It shouldn't be.
Like KP.
No. I'm
KP's
saying,
gonna
is there
draw a lot of
isolation
inches.
because KP's not there?
I think so.
That's what I'm saying.
Really?
We
I
have to
don't
be
think so.
objective here.
I
We
don't-
have to realize what we're looking at is a team without a star player.
Yeah.
And how much of this
Currently, it's Tim
offense
Hardaway.
changes?
Yeah, but like the
His
team is,
volume is too much.
but it's like not like you're not able to create any plays if your star player is not there.
If anything, that's
I
when
agree.
you do it.
I
Because
agree.
It's saying like
That's
we're not
what I'm
going to run
saying,
any
Pete.
plays.
Yeah,
We're going to run plays now, but then when our star comes back, we're not. Like that
That's
doesn't
what I'm
make
saying.
sense.
Yeah.
Let's also rewind a bit. Fizdale did say that he's running his offense right now by the players. So he's letting the players have freedom.
But why?
He's
I don't understand why.
Because
I
they
don't
need
think
to
that's
feel
smart.
each other out. Everyone on this team is really playing with each other in their respective positions for pretty much the first time. With the
Yeah.
exception of like Cantor and Tim Hardaway.
I disagree
But-
with that.
yeah,
the
same here.
reason behind it, but I love to hear that from a coach. Subliminally, he's telling you, listen, I don't give a crap about this year's record and how we do. We're figuring everything out on the fly. That's
Yeah.
my main focus here. And it's beautiful to see that the Knicks management has granted him that
What do
ability.
you disagree with?
The fact is of not running plays. I think that he should be running plays and not feeling it out. But it's also a nice thing to hear.
It's like
I don't
Tank
think it's so
2.0.
much of them running plays, it's executing things in practice that then when he sees it later in the game, he's proud of his players. That's why we were down 30 points and he was still celebrating Kevin Knox.
Yes.
He was attacking the rim like he said he would pre-game.
But yo, like what are we learning? All right, what are the players learning if they're not executing any plays, but they're learning to play with each other? What are they actually learning?
Chemistry.
Yeah, just
What,
chemistry.
what kind of
purely.
chemistry?
Playing
Just
together.
knowing your spots.
Isolation? Is that chemistry?
And that's the
Not
thing,
necessarily.
No one has any
But
assists.
you know
We're
what
not
we learned?
assisting anybody.
You know what we learned from that? We learned who the go-to guy is in the end of the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? We learned that ISO Trier is the guy we're going to dump the ball off to.
Right, but that
We
can,
get a
yeah,
bucket
but that can
right
still
there.
be
run into the
extracted through
problem
plays.
that when we're playing a close game against a good team, like when we were playing Detroit, where it was like a 10-point game, and then we made it a 5-point game, 4-point game, then went back to 10, then back to 4, back to 10, and
Right.
eventually just the whole
We had
thing
those
tore up.
lapses.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why
That's
I
when you
disagree
got to
with
have an
that.
offense
I'm with
to
you.
run.
I disagree
That's when
with
you
that.
got to
I
have
think
an
we need
offense to run
yeah.
if you're trying to win a
Right.
game.
I think sometimes we see displays of the offense. Sometimes
Yeah,
few and
sometimes
far
we do,
between,
yeah.
But when we see it, it's like, whoa.
You know what's
we
really funny?
notice it.
And
You
it
know what's really
executes
funny
it.
about this?
It's like it's a successful. So many pick and rolls, bro. Like, can you imagine ISO Zoe like with pick and roll? I've seen.
Does he have a
Any
roll man?
bullshit team I watch in the NBA does the typical pick
Yeah.
and roll. And how often do we play?
the
that
oldest
game?
play in the book.
Oldest play in the book.
You
We don't
didn't
even
hear
execute
it?
that.
It's banned
Well,
for
Philly
Madison
made us
Square
look.
I wouldn't be surprised.
They have a dynamic
Charles
pick
Oakley
and
did.
roll
But that's the
dude.
thing.
That's the thing. You know what's funny about this, guys? We this is our third season, right? The first two seasons, we were like, our offense is so damn archaic. We're talking about the triangle, and we see them utilizing
Yeah.
this triangle format. Now we're like, it's a free flow offense. There is no offense and stuff. We got to find a happy medium here. You know what I mean?
I think Fizdale on purpose is saying you guys need to feel each other out. We know the plays, all right? If I have you guys run the plays, maybe you'll do it, maybe you won't, but you might not build chemistry. At the
Right.
very least, you're kind of learning how each other runs, how you guys like your passes, where you like to be on the floor, how you like your spacing. At the very least, they're seeing that much in time for when KP comes back.
Okay.
He's plugged in, and then they start seeing, oh wait, there's actually someone we need to revolve around. Because they ain't gonna revolve around Tim Hardaway Jr. I'm sorry, Timmy.
But that's your key word, plugged in. But like when you plug someone
There's
in, you
literally
plug them into
no
a system.
No one with the
I agree.
gravitas
Good
of
point.
Kristaps Porzingis
Good point,
to be
though.
plugged into a system. Like right now,
That's a
with the
problem.
Knicks, what the Knicks have on the roster, at best, they have their best player right now is the third best scorer to a sixth man on any team in the NBA.
Averaging 25 though.
Yeah, I agree with that.
What percentage?
I agree with that.
I agree.
I think context
they
matters.
also don't help him by running any plays.
They don't.
for him. So it's a lot of isolation and him just running and gunning and just chucking.
And I
so.
pray to the basketball gods that KP learns how to
Pray to
set
basketball
a
gods.
normal
I love
pick
that.
for once in his
So,
life.
can we talk about
Really quick, before we get into that though, I just want to ask you, who on this team right now will benefit the most from KP's return?
I like
Trier.
that question.
Who do you think? Trier?
Alonzo Trier. I
Trier?
think. I'd have to
Actually,
think
Trier,
about it a little
Mitch.
harder, but my first instinct says Trier. And what I want to say just about like the running plays and stuff like that, I prefer KP to come back to a well-oiled machine.
Right.
Because I think a lot of times last season, the season before, you saw KP just kind of do so much, but because the system wasn't there, the offense wasn't running, he looked so frustrated. It looked like he had so much more to offer that he wasn't able to because the supporting cast wasn't around him. Now, context matters because Far said Fizz is just trying everybody out, figuring out the chemistry. If that's the experiment, I think you got to give that the benefit of the doubt.
Okay,
That's
fair.
been one of the more disappointing things about Fizz this season is that the offense hasn't been like this
Oiled.
machine that I thought it would be. But again, KP and Alonzo Trier, I think would probably be the most effective because I think Alonzo Trier is an incredible decision maker. And KP's obviously an incredible scorer and talent. So that combination of them running that would be great. Tim Hardaway Jr. I think is a little too. I think he's a little too
personally
I think he's a little too gun happy.
I think Tim is going to be red hot.
Because I feel like we already saw that experiment.
Yeah.
I think
Why,
it's going to
bro?
be more of the same.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
can't see
I
that.
agree.
The volume will be the same, and
Yeah.
if he can keep that points per game up, we got a solid
Yeah.
team then. But I still think the
Yeah.
shooting percentage, I don't think is going to
Yeah.
increase. Because he's had
Really?
some wide open
He-
shots that he's still like bricking.
But dude,
I don't get it.
Even
But
if he does
They're
increase
not in
in
rhythm. That's why. I think
That's
with
part of the
KP
struggle.
drawing so much attention, the shots I do see Tim Hardaway hit are the ones he steps in the top of the key for three. He steps into those and he's money.
but his shot selection is
He's bricked a couple, but he's money.
So, I
and
think-
just really quickly, I know you guys get on his percentage or whatever, but he's shooting a career high across the board.
Decent, yes.
3-point, field goal, free throw.
And let me
Like, come on,
let's be
guys.
honest.
but he also has no one around him. We got to say that too.
But that's
He's
impressive.
getting all the opportunities.
His numbers have gone up with no one around him.
Career highs
Around for
for
this.
Frank. I think the pick and roll is
Damn,
be
Jay's coming around.
something very
Matter of fact, you know
I
what?
can't believe
you know
this.
who we're not speaking about?
I can't
I understand
believe
that whole Frank thing, but we got to give credit where credit's due, man. Moutier will probably
Point
thrive.
guard position, man.
Moutier
Point guard
especially will
position.
probably thrive
Because
with
you know
KP.
what?
Now he's got a pick and roll guy. Moutier likes to run pick and roll.
He's a passer, the best
Moutier
passer on the
likes to
squad.
run pick and
Moutier
roll.
is one point guard on
sure.
a team that I would trust with KP. And
Yeah.
then Frank.
He looks like
Frank,
a really good decision maker as of late.
for some
Yeah,
reason.
for
yeah.
some reason,
Yeah.
Moutier looks really
I
good.
trust him with the
decision.
ball, like out of nowhere. I'm
Same.
like, give it to Moutier, and then I'm like, wait, what did I just say?
Look at
Give it to
look
Moutier.
at the point guards we're dealing with. So everything's
Yeah.
relative. We're like Trey
that's
Burke,
true.
he's great off the bench. Frank is a non-existent point guard. Then you got
Moutier.
Yeah, we need a disclaimer at the top of the show. It's
Yeah.
like we're talking about the Knicks, so let's have this in context.
And I have to ask,
Please do.
who do you think is going to be the starting five next year? Because again, think contracts in mind. We're talking really good things about some of these players. They may not even be around.
We didn't even talk about starting five once KP gets back though.
That's what I'm talking about.
You just said
He's coming back this year, baby.
No, he ain't coming back.
He's coming back this year. That's another debate for another time.
Oh, shit.
Okay, all right.
shit.
But
our current roster.
But one guy who's gonna obviously lose his starting spot when KP returns, who I think, God, I hope he bro.
It's
Listen,
like you, man, but no, you get out of here.
he's the only one.
Nah, he's not any worse than anyone else has been.
All right, but one guy I think we can all agree that we really, really like and been pleasantly surprised with, Vonleh. And I hate to see that guy go to the bench because he's dynamic. He's doing it all for us right now. But I mean, KP's coming back and he's got to give up his
I don't
spot.
think he's going to go to the bench. He's going to go to another team because he rebuilt his career doing that.
I think he's gonna be our number one priority.
Yeah,
If we sign
I
him.
agree.
Yeah,
I think it would be a
Vonleh,
mistake to let him go, bro.
Absolutely.
Well, our number one priority is
He's
Trier. I feel like that's our real number one
He is.
priority.
Well, he's gonna be under contract.
Yeah.
Once we figure out his deal, because he's got
So
45 games,
collectively,
whatever. Once
That's
we
true.
figure that out,
starting
it's gonna
five
be Vonleh.
with Kristaps Porzingis and this current roster.
Moutier at the
You
one,
guys got Moutier.
Tim Hardaway. I think
I think Knox will come back at that point.
it's. I'm
He'll
praying
push him
for
there.
Knox. I
He'll push
really
him
want
there.
Knox to thrive.
I think he will.
So Knox, KP,
Ennis.
and if he stays, right? I don't think Ennis is. Yo,
I'm
let me
talking
tell you
like
this.
January.
We're
So-
keeping this
Okay,
simple.
well, then he may be trade bait by
Assuming
then.
everyone's there.
Vonleh doesn't look like a bad option to start at center with KP. Does not. He can bring the ball up. He defends. He rebounds.
That's an awkward lineup.
I don't
I'm
wanna
thinking
I don't
Trier-
wanna test him at the 5.
Trier, Hardaway,
No,
Knox,
test him at the 5 because he should have
Cantor,
come back this
KP.
year.
That's
Maybe.
my.
Who?
I'm thinking Trier, Hardaway, Knox, Cantor, KP.
He's not gonna be back this year.
Who's center?
I'm gonna keep saying that.
Cantor.
There's
Cancer?
so much no defense in that lineup. It's
Yeah, that's what
right.
scared me, Pete, when you said that. I was like,
That's yo.
I
That's
think
My,
there's a single
my second
letter
option,
beat that
my
entire
second
starting
option, like I feel like Alonzo Trier should start, but I would
Yo.
understand that if he doesn't. Starting Moutier at the 1,
I like Moutier.
Moutier at the 1 might be a good choice. I could even see like weirdly enough. I don't know. I would
Yo,
say
the-
like
the
Moutier,
weirdest-
Trier, Hardaway.
Yeah.
Trier off the bench
That's
for
possible.
that fire.
But I like
Yeah.
Trier off the bench.
And honestly,
I really like him.
with all due respect to
Maybe
Trier, still let him
year
earn
1.
his stripes.
Who?
Maybe
Yeah.
Like,
true,
by
yeah.
second year already
He's young,
starting,
yeah.
like, he's young.
Yeah.
This man's already defying odds. Like,
I'm excited. I'm
Yo.
excited about the bench. Like once KP comes
Same.
back, that
Yeah.
bench is gonna be.
We're talking about a lot of these guys going to the bench. It's like,
talking
yo,
about
this is
Trey
interesting.
Burke.
You know what I
Trey
mean?
Burke at the 1, Trier at the 2. You got potentially Knox at the 3, or Mario Hezonja, your guy.
Yeah.
Who else do we have at the small
I mean,
forward?
we'll take
Lance
him off the bench.
Thomas,
Lance
if
Thomas
he gets
when
healthy.
He gets back. You got potentially Vonleh switching to the small forward position. So
Courtney
that's
Lee?
also an option.
Courtney Lee.
Courtney
Courtney
Lee.
Lee's still hovering around, and then you got Mitchell Robinson on the bench. So like that
Yeah.
bench is loaded once
Yo,
KP
is
is
it?
back.
What the
Yeah.
We all have different pairs here. Who do you think is the best front court player to play with KP? Who do you guys want to see
KP
KP
at the 5?
or 4? I don't want to see him at the 5, bro.
Me neither.
I don't think his body can
That's
hold
what I'm
him
saying. I think
at
that's the problem. I can't picture it.
Cantor.
You think
That's the
Cantor?
only one. Yeah.
Cantor?
Unfortunately.
I think I'm choosing not to vote in this because I don't think he's going to be back.
When he comes back, bro.
Bro,
When he comes back, he's going to be
January,
playing with Bo.
I'm gonna trust John on this one.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Anyway,
It's
I-
bold.
I do think it's Cantor because I think KP still his body is under a lot of
Injured.
pressure
His
right
body
now.
is still
It's
injured.
still injured, but he needs that horse. He needs that horse in the middle just to take all that contact.
Wait,
Or that
did you just
unicorn.
say a unicorn needs a horse?
That's right.
A unicorn.
I think it's vice versa.
A horse needs a unicorn.
I want to see that as a meme. Now.
All right, guys. Well, let us know what you think.
Was that you taking
you
notes?
know where to drop it.
Yes, and guys, always stay healthy. Eat tangerines.
Do it.
Oh shit, can I have one?
Absolutely.
Thanks. Oh Jay.
Ooh.
And vote
Missed
for
it.
KP. Oh wait, it's not. Wrong topic.
Bye.
Vote for KB All-Star game? That's what you doing?